The expectations of everybody else will cost you everything. You've got to set your own and become what you know you can become. You must let out that potential that lives in your heart, that nobody knows about, that you are afraid to become. Becoming a master of the mind comes from having a weak mind initially. We often run away from what we fear most, but you should take the exact opposite approach to life. Ask yourself, what happens if you don't make it happen? What happens if you don't try? This scary thought should clarify literally what happens if you don't do it, motivating you to make a change. You don't have to feel good about it. You just have to keep going, as the feeling will pass, but you will remain because you are greater than your feelings. Going to bed late and waking up early to work for a few days won't kill you. You're not going to burn out. You're doing what it takes. If you push work-life balance, remember people who like working a lot don't care, and I've never regretted trying harder at anything. Hard times may last long, but an epic story feels like a lifetime. Not everyone will understand you, and that's okay, because you're growing in directions and seeing life from a depth they haven't reached yet. Stop trying to explain your vision to people who can't even see beyond their own limits. Your journey is meant to be lived, not understood. Let them misjudge you and talk. You're here to evolve, not to be understood, so always protect your peace. To achieve true greatness, you must be mad, as madness and greatness are inextricably connected. You need some demons, a mad struggle in your mind, and you must want the results so badly that you are willing to put in more time, more effort, more focus, and more hours. Regarding fear, remember you're not in this world to live up to others' expectations, but your own. He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. Fear is a teacher, and I don't skip class. Take a moment to relax, breathe, and be still to find your center. This world is chaotic and noisy, and your head may be a mess, but you must not forget your true state. The chaos is a result of external forces clouding your mind and soul, which makes it easy to get lost, disoriented, and exhausted. By taking time to be still, breathe, and silence the noise, you will again find your center, as well as the peace and clarity you've been missing. The best way to spend the rest of your life is to work on your internal life and develop who you are, as that is the alternate orbit where the real titans play. Your problem is that you don't feel the need to change or fix your problems. You don't view the things destroying you as something that has to stop. You may have a vision, but in reality, staying the same isn't that bad. Saying things like, "What's another day? What's another week?" These are not the words of someone desperate for change, but of someone with the vision but no real intention of materializing it. The reality is, no matter how badly you say you want it, until the pain of staying where you're at is greater than the pain of changing your behavior, that vision will remain just a vision. There is nothing more practical than developing a vision. Without it, you're chaotic, fragmented, hopeless, and disappointed, easily stopped by a single obstacle, leaving your life a sequence of disappointments, frustrations, and tragedies. A leaf blowing in the wind, which is not what you were called to be. When you get what you want in your struggle for self and the world makes you king for a day, look in the mirror. For the fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. He's the one to please, for he's with you to the end, and you've passed your most difficult test if the man in the glass is your friend. You may fool the whole world, but your final reward will be heartache and tears if you've cheated him. Here's an exercise. Take a piece of paper, write "dream list" at the top, and make a list of all your dreams. Stop with the helplessness and the habit of figuring out why you can't have it. Instead, dream as though you had no limitations and nothing was holding you back. Ask yourself, what one great thing would I dare to dream if I knew I could not fail? Write it down. This is the starting point of great achievement, because if you can clearly define that target, you can hit it. You eventually always hit the targets you set, but you can't hit a target you can't see. Dreams become like a magnet, pulling you that direction, and the better you describe them, the more they pull. Believe you can get what you want like a child, not an adult.
The formula reads, make plans like an adult and believe in them like a child. We hit about 3, 4, or 5 major crossroads in our life. If you feel you made a mistake, it's all about the comeback. I love stories about redemption because that's what life is. I'd rather see the guy who's lost 10 times come back than an undefeated fighter, because that's what life is. Every day, the same answer came back. Do you want to be on your deathbed knowing that you could, but you didn't? You have to stop giving a damn about people who aren't trying to go where you are and figure out who the hell you are on this journey. Many people don't like you, so be it. But you first have to figure out you, because a lot of people die with untapped potential because they're trying to be somebody they're not. I figured out my own potential by figuring out me. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. Unchosen suffering is going to happen, so the only thing you can do is have some chosen suffering to prepare for it. If I could do one thing for people to help them be successful, I would take procrastination out of their lives, because it leads to good intentions, where someday becomes none of these days. I wish people who procrastinate would just be honest and say, I'm never going to do it. You've bought into the lie that someday you're going to do something you're unwilling to do now, and if you're unwilling to do it today, what makes you think you'll be so good tomorrow that you'll do it? As my mentor John Wooden said, when opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. It's too late because you didn't prepare on the front end. Get ready. Start before you're ready. Don't prepare. Begin. Remember, the enemy is not your lack of preparation, the difficulty of the project, the state of the marketplace, or the emptiness in your bank account. The enemy is resistance. You truly believe that you have the power within you to change. The first step would be saying, I have to take responsibility for myself right now because I gotta start thinking differently, acting different, and feeling different. It's going to be hard. If it was easy, everybody would be doing this. When a person sits through the fire and all that anxiety, hatred, and anger and keeps lowering the vine, sooner or later, the body will release it. If you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, then your goal will become the sacrifice. But here's the thing, it's a sacrifice either way. You're either going to sacrifice momentary pleasure or you're going to sacrifice your goal. Next time you worry about someone else judging you, realize that you're actually judging yourself. Words, opinions, and criticisms can only hurt you to the degree that you believe they're true. Ask yourself, why does this sting? What part of me agrees with them? And then support yourself instead of externalizing this insecurity. When you stop giving so much weight to the opinions of others and start questioning your own instead, you'll see that it's your own self-doubt hurting you. Reframe the narrative and take your power back. Your life and your growth have to be stored up before they show up. When you see somebody that's done something very well, they didn't just start practicing yesterday. They've been consistent, and that consistency has led to a level that displays growth and excellence. Can you admit something in your life that you don't feel you deserve or have earned? Can you admit a goal or dream you want to chase but feel you're not equipped or qualified? Can you admit something that guilt is keeping you from getting? Can you let something that you don't want to start continue or finish because you're afraid to say it aloud to yourself? Write it down. Confess. Commit it. You have to push yourself to a point where you have to consider, am I even meant for this? This might be too hard. Then you regroup, recover, and gain the focus and ambition back the very next day. You're coming back from the doubt, the hate, the depression, the anxiety, the racing thoughts, the challenging thoughts, the intrusive thoughts. It's comeback season. It's a new season, a new day to smile, be in joy, and shine. This is the real me coming out.
I used to have anxiety about the future, wondering why I hadn't made it yet, or if I was on the wrong path. Action alleviates anxiety. The only thing I could control was that I would work and I would get better. Whenever you have that feeling that things should be happening faster, use action as your coping mechanism. While people say, don't sweat the small stuff, the 1%ers, the 0.01%, sweat every single detail.
Everybody's afraid of failure because it's embarrassing, but the journey to success comes with a lot of failure. So teach yourself how to fail properly. You're not trying to be a failure, but you're going to have a million setbacks, and you need to learn how to get up extremely fast. I taught myself how to fail first because I knew that if I was afraid of failure, I would have never been able to be a Navy SEAL. You're not in the dark taking care of you. You're not becoming the giant or the superstar you're going to be one day. You're so worried about what others see in the light that you're not doing what you need to do to become the person you need to become. It doesn't bother you that you're not walking in your anointing or your calling, which is why you're losing. Because you're so worried about what people think about you that you're not in the dark working on you. Remember that average is the enemy. Success is your responsibility, and change can take place in an instant if you are willing to flip the switch. Eliminate all external distractions and just focus on the process itself and enjoying it every single day, whether you're chopping wood or carrying water. Greatness is not meant for a few chosen people. It's meant for those who persistently pursue their dreams every day. The Buddha says being in a state of pain, anxiety, or suffering comes from attachment to things, people, identities, and philosophies. You don't have to experience suffering if you live in a state of no expectation, just living life day by day, step by step, and enjoying yourself. You always have the pain of comparison and the pain of living in the future, of what you could be, should be, but aren't. You can liberate yourself from a lot of these things by living in the present moment, by being here right now. We may not be able to control everything in our outer world, but we certainly can control our inner world. It's not so important to not react because everybody reacts. The question is, how long are you going to react? If you keep an emotional reaction going on for an extended period of time, you're memorizing that emotion, and your body, as the unconscious mind, is believing it's living in the same past experience 24/7, 365. We become addicted to the very life we don't even like. It's important for people to realize that when you have that moment of crisis or something breaks down, you do have control over it, and it's a formula. If you think that everything is too good to be true, you're going to be right 9 out of 10 times. The only issue is that 1 out of every 10 opportunity could be the one that changes your life. Optimists fail far more than cynics, but eventually they hit a home run. Always keep your guard up, protect yourself, be street smart, but never fully close yourself off to the fact that you might have a life-changing opportunity in front of you. Remember these words when anyone tries to tell you to give up. Because whatever you're trying to do is impossible. Impossible is just a word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. You will make mistakes and you will fall down, but what we do after that fall is how we make history. Because impossible is nothing. If you look at the greats in any walk of life, they do things when they don't always want to. And that's the separation. Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better. Build belief and confidence to the point where nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You faced your demons and you were able to heal all your past traumas. Being ashamed is one of the biggest things that kills people nowadays. It's riskier to live your life never trying for anything, never doing something brave, and never getting yourself scared in a good way. If I see opportunity, I'm going to go for it. We're all going to die one day, so live like you could die tomorrow. Go for it. A lot of people think they have all this time, so they waste it and never go out and do what they really set out to do or accomplish. You think when you're young that you have all this time, but there is no time. There is no tomorrow. Let's get all this done today. Contemplate the price you pay for inaction, because it does have a cost, as your attention is the most important thing you have. Contemplating that price is a justification for you doing things sooner rather than later and committing. Every morning when you get up, say over and over to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now. Program your subconscious mind with this automatic condition command whenever you have the tendency to procrastinate. The key to overcoming procrastination is to develop a sense of urgency. Be the kind of person who gets things done quickly and launches fast on a task. Less than 2% of the population have a sense of urgency, and there is not an example of a successful person anywhere who does not have one. If you just develop a sense of urgency once, getting on a task and doing it fast, that alone will move you into the top ranks in a very short period of time. How do you try to make them understand you when they don't even understand themselves? They judge your actions but don't care to think about theirs. They criticize your every move while they blindly stumble around. You're trying to garner respect from the wrong people. It is apples and oranges. They view reality differently than you do, and every minute you spend trying to sell them on your dream is a minute you are not spending actually trying to achieve it. When you're grateful, you can't be worried, fearful, or angry. And anger and fear are what screw people up most. Most people want to be happy, but their habit is to be worried, pissed off, frustrated, or stressed. They've got a highway to stress and a dirt road to happiness. One of my most powerful motivational frames is thinking about the person I want to become as the destination and thinking, I want to be bulletproof in these ways, in my marriage, my business, etc. Hell is when you look at who you could have been and realize that you're not that person. So I think, if I were to make that man, what would I put that man through to make him who he is? It wouldn't be easy times, quick wins, or even easy ones. It would be the toil and the struggle of achieving and reaching for things that are right out of grasp. When I'm going through those really harder times, I like to think of looking in my mental mirror and thinking, I'm making you. I'm not there yet, but I'm making you. My prayer for you is that you win the battle that no one knows about, because usually those are the toughest. On the other end of suffering is a life that many people don't know even exists, a beautiful world. We all live in a world where our brains are keeping us in a box. Outside that box, on the other edge of suffering, is a world that's endless of opportunity. But we are afraid to go outside that box because in that box, it's comfortable. Outside that box, God gives you a shovel and says, man, start digging. That's not fun. But when you dig your own path to all kind of stuff that's unknown. Ain't nothing you can do about what's going to happen to you. You can't stop life from happening. Life is 10% what happened to you and 90% what you do about it. You got to stop tripping every time something happened to you like it's the end of the world. It ain't. Just change your mindset. If you change your attitude, you change your altitude. To succeed, you got to overcome your fears, battle your own greed, conquer your own demons, become unsure, second-guess everything you believe in, survive through the suffering to figure out the meaning, and go hard. When you bring the Crete in, you might lose sleep, but it's going to feel like you're dreaming. Like the process of self-improvement. At the end of the day, you got to ask yourself what fulfills you. Winning and losing are cool and they bother you emotionally, but when you put in work, when you prepare, and give everything you got to something, the process of self-improvement, even if it doesn't go the way you want it to go, you still have something to hang on to, knowing that you put some pride into the process of it. It's not predicated upon outcome. The moment you get into the for this or to get this, you're going to be on the emotional roller coaster. So every once in a while, put your head up and ask yourself, what is it that fulfills me? Fulfillment is a powerful thing.
The best advice I can give you is to treat the past as a school. Let it teach you the mistakes you've made, the things that went wrong, and the things that didn't work. Don't use the past as a burden to carry or as a club to beat yourself to death. Past losses, failures, mistakes. If you feel good about the past, draw from it for experience and let it teach you. Next is how you feel about the future, which is called the promise. We've got to have the future well designed. Those racing thoughts, sleepless nights, and anxiety are all there for a reason. They're telling you that you need to take action. All of those emotions are telling you that you're meant for more than this. Don't ignore it. Don't allow the storms that come into your life to make you lose that gratitude or appreciation for waking up. Learn how to dance in the rain. Dance through the storm and embrace the storms because hard times, difficulties, and obstacles are inevitable. The best thing you can do is learn how to work with the flow of life rather than against it. Don't try to run away from the pain or escape the obstacles. Learn how to embrace them head on and go through them because that's where growth happens. Everyone's just looking out for themselves, and that's okay. But it's time for you to start prioritizing yourself too. Trust that things will fall into place and that everything will work out for the best. You've overcome a lot through this journey and stayed hopeful even when things felt impossible. It's okay to be selfish too. It's your turn now to get what you deserve. You are not really enjoying the process while you pursue the goal if you are so focused on becoming, achieving, and arriving at this future point that the enjoyment of the doing is so greatly diminished or disappears completely. I can't handle not knowing or not finding out. The wondering what if will drive me crazy. Don't be embarrassed of failure or ashamed of losing. Screw it up. Find out. Number 1, you have to stop regretting the past. There's nothing you can do about it. Don't forget the past. You can learn from it and get better so you don't make the same mistakes, but stop regretting it. Number 2, stop worrying about the future. Psychologists have found that 85% of what you worry about on a daily basis will never happen, which is a waste of your energy and time. Number 3, stop looking for your happiness in other people. Other people cannot make you happy. It is absolutely impossible. When you form a partnership, you make one decision. My decision is to be great, to be unstoppable, to win, or whatever it may be. Then after you make that decision, you gotta commit to it. How many times have you talked yourself out of the commitment? It's not a bad thing to be unique, to be different, or to be comfortable with yourself, regardless of what everybody else around you is doing. Many times people want to rush and accelerate the journey, but they don't understand that the journey is lifelong. There is no end goal or destination. You are in this journey from the moment you were born until you die. Today is just another brick that you're laying to build your ideal house. We have a choice to accept life as it is or be an active force for good to decide, I don't want to just survive. This is not me. What it takes to survive and what it takes to live are two totally different things. Do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. Where you are now is just a reflection of your past thoughts and past thinking. So if you want to change your future, you got to change your thoughts now and then put them into action. Ultimately, you have to go through the fire first. You have to experience the full fall and the complete self-loathing in order to come around to something like the forgiving of oneself. The trouble is when you skip responsibility and use a substitute emotion like guilt, which is of no use to anyone. But if you feel the real thing, which is shame, hatred, humiliation, and self-loathing, that is the door. If you get through that, then you can forgive yourself. You can never lose faith. That's the key. You have to believe in something that you can't see. You have to believe when you don't see no way how. You have to stop giving in to every little short-term impulse that enters your brain and whatever feels good in the moment. You are going down an empty road, and the further you go down that road, the more you try to satisfy that appetite. That appetite just grows and can never be satisfied. So long as you try to satisfy your carnal desires and your short-term impulses, you are going to live a life of suffering. But if you choose to suffer up front and pay in full now, you are going to become somebody that you are proud of and somebody that you respect. And that feeling is so much more satisfying and so much longer lasting than any other form of cheap dopamine that you're chasing after. Walk away from that path now because it is leading you absolutely nowhere.
Your back is against the wall, and every single one of you can relate to this because this is what's difficult about failure. The disappointment is on you. It is your fault, and you go through failure alone. Failure gives you two choices. You stay down or you get up. All of you understand the disappointment of failure, and I can stay down or I can get my ass up. And I'm in the getting up business. Someday it's going to be your last day. So live every day as if it's your last day and do stuff that you always wanted to do. Because I don't want to go, oh man, I'm dying tomorrow and I missed it. I don't want to think about what I could have or should have done. I want to do it now, and I don't care about talent. I just care about doing it now because I want it, and it's within me. I think everybody knows what they're supposed to do deep down inside, and a lot of people just don't go after it. Most people start out saying, I want to be of this, but I'm going to get that to make sure I have something to fall back on. And what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for failure because you're saying there's a possibility that I'm going to fall back. But if you just say, hey, this is what I want to do, and you go do it, you usually get your stuff the way you want it. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet voice at the end of the day whispering, I will try again tomorrow. The journey toward your dream starts with the courage to begin, to take that first step despite the uncertainty that lies ahead.